Hello YouTube. In case you're in the market for a secondary display for the driver, just like you have on Model S or X, I found this product on Amazon produced by Carda. It comes in this fancy box with the three of the same font on the top of it, and it's not here. Well, that's because I already started the installation and wanted to share with you as to how difficult is it to install it. So as far as the item itself, the gauge cluster, that installation is fairly straightforward. What you do is remove the wooden dashboard that's only held by clips. So just pry it off gently. You have to start with the side pieces, so just get them off on both sides, and then start prying off the wooden dashboard piece itself. I didn't find any difficulties with that. And then once you get to the steering wheel, find your steering wheel menu, which is in quick controls, steering wheel, so you can move the steering wheel all the way down, because what you want to do is you want to take off this top piece. This is original from Tesla, which gets replaced by the assembly, which consists of a plastic of the same kind or color. And then you just proceed with a few clips to get this fall ladder. I guess this is a dust proof or whatever barrier there. So just connect it to your unit, and you're almost done here. Okay, now the difficult part is to connecting this. Manufacturer does provide you with a cable. So this is the male side, female side, and you need to get it all the way to the other side into this computer, which seems to be the autopilot. So in order to hide the cable efficiently, you need to be able to fish it across, right, and also from the steering column down. So I first started by connecting the unit to the small multi-connector, but then what happens is you're left with this thick piece to fish, and it was just impossible. The way the HVAC and other items are packaged here with the knee airbag, I believe, it was just impossible. So then I decided to try the other way, and bingo, that's the way to do it. Now I couldn't find videos on this, so that's why I decided to share it with you. So should you be installing one of these, it is much easier for you. So what you want to do is get a piece of something sturdy, like a copper wire. This is just a regular household copper wire, and you wanna find this little pocket in this cloth that's under the steering wheel, and then gently go straight across, and hopefully you'll come out on the other end. I mean, there is room, but I wasn't able to do it with this you know, soft wire. It was just bending and going sideways instead of straight, and also you're going from the other side, so it's harder to find this small point than coming out wherever on this side. So what I'm gonna do next is tape it to my fishing rod, and hopefully we'll get it to the other side. So I'll try to set up the camera here. Okay. So obviously you want to tape it as such, so as you go, you know, you're not bent like that. So it is important that it doesn't get separated. I'm using electrical tape, but any tape would do. This one doesn't leave residue, at least not right away. Okay. So let's see if we can get it through here. So yeah, it's very tight at the beginning here. There's a whole piece of HVAC for the legs. So try going to a side, you know, move from side to side. Okay, so I got through the initial hurdle, and now another important thing is not to go under this gas pedal, I mean throttle, since you're trying to go as close as possible to the HVAC, because you're gonna go under it. Okay, let's see, I need a little bit more, so I'm gonna take it from the side. Okay, there we go. So now we can undo this and connect it. Okay, so with the connector, what we need to do is get it up to the unit, but obviously we don't want it to be flapping around here, so we have to go back through this opening that we came through and go straight up to come into the steering column itself. I mean this whole housing. And that way it's gonna be perfectly concealed within this shroud. Let's see if it pokes out on the top. Okay. No, I don't see it there. Where did it go? There it is. Perfect. All right. So that is amazing. Now we can connect them. Now this thing does have a little notch on it. It's hard to show it on the camera because I have it on a fisheye, but there's only one way to connect it. Okay. So now we'll just apply some tension so everything tucks in. Okay. And what we want to do is put everything back together as if this was the Tesla piece. The clips are very tight fit, so some pressure is required. Don't worry, you're not gonna break anything. Just make sure that here on the front you're under. So in other words, the front first, and then you can start popping these clips back as such. So okay, that required both of my hands, but as you can see now, we are in. This one is not perfect because I already had it closed and I had to reopen it to undo, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So this one's not going to be perfect. It was hard to reopen this perfect seal. So, but that's fine. I mean, I love the way it looks already. So I can't wait to get this turned on. So let's continue with the install. Now, as I mentioned, the cable comes out about the throttle pedal, okay, and then luckily the HVAC of Tesla and the fact that it has a flat floor, there is plenty of room to send this all the way across to the other side. So I was really happy with that. So I'll when we're done plugging it in, I'm gonna get a zip tie or two, kind of secure this to hug this this HVAC unit, and all is well on this side. So let's go to the other side. Okay, so on the passenger side, what you need to do is get this bottom panel off. It is secured by a few of these clips where you put a screwdriver to pop the center up, right? And then this spread loosens up and you can pull it out, like very similar to other manufacturers. You may find some of these torques, so just basic tools. And then I unhooked the two connections. One was for the light, or the dome light, I mean the footrest light, and then the other one was for the speaker. The speaker one was kind of tricky. It doesn't seem to latch in a particular way. It was tough to take out. Let's see. Yeah, so it has a little point. So just yank it straight out. It won't break. It's just a weird connector. See, this one has a little latch on it, so when you press it, it comes out. This one doesn't. So that's a weird connector. Then what you want to do is you pry this side panel. Again, that's just clips. And as I said, you can fish anything through the bottom under the HVAC So that's where we are now. So what I'm gonna do is get this behind the side piece. Okay, there. Now we're behind it. We're gonna stay up, but I want it to be behind. And this is the hard part. So we need to unplug autopilot one of the connectors, and then insert this between, right? So this is going to go into the computer, and then that plug gets plugged here, so we can tap into the data feed that we need for the cluster. Let me get some light here. Okay, this is a bit difficult, but the connector we're after is the third one from the bottom in gray color. So I won't be able to film this part, but what I'm gonna do is unhook it and then attach the harness that came with the unit. Okay, so I wanted to show you some tips as to how to get to that connector. So it turns out I had to remove this side panel so I get a better access to the computer. So that consists of this and this piece. It's all held by clips, so you can't really break anything. And then in the corner of this big one we have one of these, so I can just pull out the center and then you can yank on it. So I got the connector out. You can see it dangling there, and it's fairly difficult because you can't get there with two hands. So what I found as a good strategy, since this is a duplicate, this is basically the same connector. It looks gray over there, but that's the socket is gray. The connector itself is white, and it has this push down lock just like this one. So I took a small screwdriver and shoved it in there like this, and it would stay while I could focus with my one hand to basically grab on anything I could, and it comes right out. So unless you have a good handle on this lock, it won't move, right? So just press something in there, it won't fall out, and that's the way to do it. All right, so we have successfully installed it. There's a couple things that you're gonna notice that will happen when you unhook the Tesla connector, right, from the computer. The AC fan speed will go up, at least it did for me. Maybe because the car is losing some information about temperature. And then these two lights, they both go off. And then once you reconnect it, I think this purple one went back on first, and then the black one, you know, the light next to the black one went back on, and the fan speed is normal, so it's communicating again. So that's when you know, you have it seated properly. I mean, obviously you want to try to yank on it to make sure that it's locked in place. So let's see if we have something on the display now. Oh, look at that. Oh, let's check it out. Oh, that's pretty. That really is pretty. And I believe this button changes the screen mode by a fast roll, so I can change between day and night since I'm parked. Shows me the odometer in kilometers, but I know it's miles, so I'm gonna have to look at the settings. Oh, I tell you what, the resolution is amazing. You can even change the wheel type. Huh. I guess for the picture. Time format 12 hours. I went auto. Okay. And then theme I can use simple or classic. And then there's lamp. That would probably be this one with their logo, so you can also turn it off, looks like. Oh. Well, I'm gonna give it a good review in another video. Now I'm going to finish the install. At least I know it's working, so I can close things and then give it this one good setup and review with all the different screens while driving and whatnot in another separate video. Okay, so to put this back together, we would start in the passenger side, so that way we leave only as much slack as we need in this cable. So first I will put this back on. So I remember having one of those plastic pins in the corner. There is also a groove that slides in right there in the back. Okay. The weather stripping, you don't want to pull that back over it. Okay. So we get the biggest one we have, which is this one. Right, and the way you install it is you pull it out, push it in, and then push the center in. That's it. Then this little piece, this side first, and then the bottom just snaps in. And it goes this way. So the bottom first, again the weather stripping, pull that back. And that's it. Then we would want to put the bottom panel. So this point we only want as much cable as we need. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm putting that cable right over the top of this side panel so it keeps it stretched across and is not covering any HVACs. Okay, and that just presses in. Okay, the big piece. Big piece is here. So first I'm going to plug in the speaker, then the light, and then get it situated and secure it with one of these so I don't have to hold it. Speaker wire for the rest. Light is on, so that's good. And there is a one point that you have to slide. Slide the plastic in to lock it. It's towards the back on the left side. Okay, and that basically holds it in place. Now there are some places where you push on it and it pops in place. Now it's flush everywhere, so that means it's in the right spot. And I have 1, 2, 3 of these. So I just have to find 3 spots for them. 1 on the right, second one all the way to the left, and the last one here on the right as well. And then I believe I'm missing one. Yeah, I've noticed that on this car that some of the hardware is missing. So I guess growing pains in the factory. This side piece I'm not gonna put on yet because that goes after the dashboard. So we can move to the other side. Okay, so on this side, first we have to hydrate because it's hot in here. South Florida, always hot. So we check the cable. It seems to be running a nice nicely along the HVAC, and it looks like they give you like exact size. So if it was an inch shorter it would be problematic. So with that in mind, make sure you take the shortest route between these 2 points because you will need it. Okay. And so here the plastic is a lot smaller, and you don't have to really unhook it. So it does have one tongue piece that needs to go into the opening in the back. Once you find that, it should lock in place. There you go. Alright. It's a little harder to latch it back in place because the plastic keeps moving away from it. But I say it's in place. So we have a couple of these. On the first one I would put all the way. Wait a second. No, that's where the screw goes. So to the right side of the small plastic we just put in, and then the second one up front here to the left. And then we have two screws, one on the left side and one on the right side. These are regular Torx. It's, what is it? Well, I can make up the number, but it's small to medium size. Okay, so that is it. Now we can put the dashboard back in. Oh, before the dashboard, this piece. So again, this side first, in the back. Push it up and back, and it will find its way, and then the side just locks in place, and that's it. Okay, dashboard. By the way, when you're charging, there's a different display with a little tiny supercharger in the center. And he gets the car's color and wheels on the main computer. So that's pretty cool. Also wanted to mention that this logo of the company is actually magnetic. You can take it off. See? So you could potentially have a laser cut, I don't know, Model 3 or something like that, and then put it over here. It just needs to be on a ferrous metal surface, so the magnet that is around the light will hold it in place. So that's pretty cool, I think. That's not a sticker. Alright, so back to the install. Dashboard. So I'm gonna have to put down the camera, but it should be pretty straightforward. There's just a gazillion of clips to worry about, so make sure you have the gap the same way across, and it should pop in place. There are some stickers here saying that all the core clips must fully engage for airwave to function correctly. So what they're telling you is that make sure you seat this properly, otherwise the air won't be routed the way you want. So it's important. Okay, so the dashboard is in place. Again, it was pretty straightforward. You want to start by sliding it forward and under, and then once you line up the front edge, you can start pressing it down. Start in the back and then work your way all the way, and then to the front. Just watch your gap. You may not hear those satisfying clicks everywhere, so don't think it's not in, because this gap is because of a glove compartment. I mean, we can check that. Right, so yeah, that's seated all the way. All right, and then the last thing to do is to put in these ends. It's easier to take it out and put it back in when you remove these bookends, because they kind of prevent you from removing it. A little tough to take out and put back in, but we heard the click, so it's good to go. This guy, good, and then the other side. That. Well, there you have it. This plays in, connect it. So look for another video where I review the product and its functionality. Bye.